Both mummies and daddies love that feeling when baby moves around in that big tummy, right? And so logically, both will be worried when baby suddenly moves less on certain days.
Right.
So the question is, when this happens, is it normal or is there anything wrong?
Yes. So in this video, we are going to explain if there are any circumstances when it's just normal if the baby moves less than usual. And most importantly, we are also going to tell you when things are not normal and when to call a doctor.
Yes, this is Nathalie, a pregnancy and birth consultant and TCM therapist.
And that's Mathias, a researcher and Science Geek, and we help expecting mummies and their babies naturally and science-based.
So let's talk about the baby's movements. Alright, so first of all, most women start feeling their baby sometime between week 18 and week 24, but it can also be as early as week 16, particularly if this is not your first pregnancy, right? At first, those movements will only feel like a gentle fluttering. However, as your pregnancy progresses, you should be able to feel your baby's movements more vigorously, i.e. in the form of kicks.
Yes, actually by week 24 your baby's movements should have developed a regular pattern, although the number of movements is likely to increase until about week 32. And then you're supposed to feel regular movement throughout the rest of your pregnancy. However, there is no specific number of movements that you should be feeling because every baby is different, right?
Yes, as a result, that pattern of movements will be different from baby to baby. Some babies will be more active during the day, other babies will be more active during the night. And it is that pattern that you need to keep an eye on, because when you do, it allows you to detect deviations from that pattern. And it's primarily when baby moves less that should make us be concerned, right?
Yes. So the question is now, are there any circumstances under which a baby moves less than expected? And the answer is there are no circumstances under which a baby is supposed to move less, with one exception that we are going to discuss in just a second.
Yes, we know that many people on the internet tell you that there can be hundreds of reasons why a baby moves less, such as hot weather or because baby is engaged, etc. But unfortunately, this is not true.
Yes. So for example, it is often argued that when a baby is engaged, baby has less room to move. However, if we look at an illustration, we can actually see that all that is engaged is your baby's head. So that means that your baby can still move their body, arms and legs. As a result, you should still feel baby's movements and kicks, right?
Exactly. Another argument that people often use is that if your placenta is located at the front of your uterus, it is normal that you will feel fewer movements. Unfortunately though, this is not true either. Yes, it can be that you won't feel your baby's movements as well as when your placenta is located at the top of your uterus. However, this does not mean that you should feel fewer movements in terms of that pattern that we were talking about, right? So even in that case, you should be able to detect a regular pattern.
Yes. And then another argument that we often hear is that a baby moves less during the final weeks of a pregnancy. That too is totally wrong. During the final weeks of your pregnancy, you should be able to observe the same pattern as you always have. The only exception that is often being reported is that a baby's movements may become less right before labor starts. But this is really only just during the final hours before labor starts. And this phase is not supposed to extend over a longer period of time, okay?
Yes, however, we clearly want to point out that not feeling your baby at all at the start of labor is not normal either, right? So please keep that in mind. Now, here's the thing. Most of the times when your baby suddenly moves less, your baby is most likely still going to be absolutely fine, right? However, as a general rule, if your baby does not move as much, or if you are concerned about your baby's movements, please call your midwife immediately. In fact, we even recommend that you don't just wait for the next day, call them immediately. It's just the safest thing to do. And you might save your baby's life when you do that.
Yes. In addition, you can count baby's kicks. In fact, some time ago, we wrote a blog post about how to count baby's kicks. You can find it in the description below this video. Maybe you find it helpful.
Yes. And what you can also try are certain techniques to make your baby move. Actually, about a year ago, we recorded a video on what to do when your baby moves less. It is supposed to pop up now, but if it does not, you can also find it in the description below this video. That said, please keep in mind that in general, your baby should not require any external stimuli to move, right? So even if your baby does move after applying those techniques, we would still call your midwife just to be on the safe side. Again, it could save your baby's life.
Right. If you have found this video helpful, we would be super grateful if you could leave us a like below this video.
Yes, and for more useful tips and tools on pregnancy and baby related topics, make sure to subscribe to our channel and to hit the bell.